So we're going to start off. How many people are loving themselves today? Come on. Yes, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Howdy, howdy. Glad to see everybody. Hi, how are you? I'm good. We're gonna start off with a little joyful I Love Myself song. Shall we? All right, let's do a little 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I love myself. I forgive myself. My life feels good, and I can have what I want. So I choose joy. So I choose joy. And I choose peace. Back to the top. I love myself. I forgive myself. My life feels good. And I can have what I want. I choose joy. I choose joy. I choose peace. I choose peace. Now the bridge, here we go. Opportunity finds me. I create what I need. I'm open to suggestions. I accept success. I take responsibility. Abundance flows through me. And I prosper. You prosper. We prosper. And a 1, 2, 3, because I love myself. I forgive myself. My life feels good. And I can have what I want. So I choose joy. I choose joy. And I choose peace. And I choose peace for all beings, for all beings, for all life, for all life, for the universe, for the universe, because I love myself.
Yay! Good morning, Unity. Unity gives me roots and wings. When I listen to a choir's harmonies, I may not be able to discern one voice from another, nor do I try because they blend together so wonderfully. But I do know if even one of those voices are missing, the music would not be quite so rich and full. Unity in my life works much the same way. As I take my place in my family, my community, and in my world, I feel my belonging. This is a gift I receive gratefully, and one I am blessed to give. I live into the fullness of the unity I feel by improving and healing myself so the world is made a better place by my presence in it. I pray my efforts inspire others to live as the unique gifts the world needs. Together we lift one another up and become more than we could be alone. In your unity, in our unity, we find oneness in God. So the affirmation is, unity gives me roots and wings. Let's say that together 3 times. Unity gives me roots and wings. Again. Unity gives me roots and wings. And one last time. Unity gives me roots and wings. And so it is. Let's stand up and sing.
Yes. Oh, yes. Gosh, this is going along perfectly. There was a time in my life when I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. go. Let it all go. And here we go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. One last time. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle. No more strife. I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Well, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for
Let's say welcome and good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
So, I want to introduce our speaker for today, Reverend Yolanda. I have a few things I want to say about this amazing being. First of all,
she's tuning her guitar and she's sorry, but
that's okay. It's my background music. I like it. I like it. So, born as Roger Mapes in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, Reverend Yolanda was raised in the Methodist Church, then became a born-again evangelical Jesus freak from 1974 to 1981. She lived in the commune called Jesus Manor.
Wow.
Reverend Yolanda left the Christian faith when she fell in love with Reverend Glenn in 1981 and left the commune, went to college as a theater major, moved to New York City and met a group of pagan, queer, goddess-based people called Radical Furies in the 90s and moved into a commune with them in Vermont in 1993.
I did.
In 2001, Yolanda moved back to New York City, met her husband Glenn, and decided to go to One Spirit Interfaith Seminary to fulfill her lifelong dream of becoming a music minister. In 2011, Yolanda graduated from One Spirit as Reverend Yolanda and began her music ministry called Reverend Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour, which is performed all over the country in clubs, churches, spiritual centers, and LGBT centers. Reverend Yolanda's Old Time Gospel Hour is a 2-time MAC Award winner, a GLBT Hall of Fame Award winner, and a Blues Hall of Fame Award winner. Yes.
I got it.
She has been called Dolly Parton plus Louise Hay with a leaping helping of Mrs. Doubtfire. Reverend Yolanda's performances are celebratory experiences of worship, praise, and gratitude for life. Let's hear it for her. Yeah! Woo-hoo!
The way of peace is the way of love. Love is the greatest power on earth. It transforms all things. Hey, sweetheart. So that's basically the melody. You want to join me?
Yeah.
On this? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. The way of peace is the way of love. Love is the greatest power on earth. It transforms all things. transforms all things. Same words, different melody, but it goes like this. The way of peace is the way of love. Transforms all things. So let's put it together. And the way of peace is the way of love. Love is the greatest power on earth. It transforms all things. One more time. The way of peace is the way of love. Love is the greatest power on earth. It transforms all things. Second melody. The way of peace is the way of love. Transforms all things. The way of peace is the way of love. Love is the greatest power on earth. It transforms all things. It transforms all things. It transforms all things. One thing I want to say is that I'm so grateful for you guys, and I'm super, super grateful that you've asked me to be here today and at other times. These past few months since Glenn died have really been challenging, and you guys have been there for me. So I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you for unity of Norwalk. Everywhere I go and everything I do, I rest in God. Everything I see and everything I feel, I rest in God. 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 Teach only love, for that is what you are, and rest in God. Teach only love, for that is what you are, just to rest in God. Just rest in God. Just rest in God. Just rest in God. Just rest in God. I am not just this body, I am free and I rest in God. I am as God created me, and I rest in God. I rest in God. I rest in God. I rest in God. do our God vibration. And in this still moment of resting in God and resting in love and resting in unity in the oneness, we can feel the connection. We can feel each other. And we can demonstrate that connection in our lives. We can release what doesn't serve us. And we can move forward in each and everyday activities with the knowledge of the presence of God. And when we stray, when we get caught up in those thoughts that take us off into a tailspin, we can stop. We can say, oh, these are just thoughts. They're not the truth of my being. What is the truth of my being? I rest in God. God is love. God is peace. God is unity. God is oneness. That's the place that we can return to at any moment. So, as we co-create this celebration experience, you and I, together right now, we are forming a circle of unconditional love, absolute and total respect and love for everyone in this room and beyond, and our ancestors and those, all of those that have been in this room in the past years. We honor you and we include you in our circle. We include it all, even if we like it and even if we don't like it, because it all leads us to enlightened leadership, knowing that we are teachers of God, knowing that we are the light of the world. Blessed be. And so it is. Oh, goodness. You, my friends, are teachers of God. You, my friends, are enlightened leaders. Did you know that someone looks up to you? Someone looks at you for guidance and love. And how can we be there for them unless we love ourselves? And unless we embrace our own leadership role, our own responsibilities as teachers of God. And that's not a hard thing to do. It's really only a matter of, for me, catching what thoughts don't work for me. And as we know in unity, our thoughts create our reality. It certainly outpictures in our experience, doesn't it? So today's talk I have entitled Enlightened Leadership. And I'm going to be reading from the Tao Te Ching, chapter 29. And I took a class with Regina Donacre. Do y'all remember Reverend Regina Donacre? She wrote the Holy Spirit's interpretation of the New Testament. Yeah, if you guys, I know we used to read that here. And so she did a translation of the Tao Te Ching from the Chinese to her translations. There's lots of different translations. Ursula Le Guin has one that I really like. There's a lot of people that do translations of the Tao, but she understood it as a leadership manual for the teachers of God. And so she came at it from that perspective. And I thought that was delightful. And it came at such a great time because, Glenn had passed. I was mourning and still am. But, now what do I do with my life, And it came to me after taking that class that, okay, I'm an elder now. I can be a leader. I can be an example to those that, gravitate or vibrate with what I have to share. So we all have that. We all have a vibration that others respond to. So in my when I finished the course with Regina, I said to myself, "Oh my God, I have the perfect song. I wrote this song about enlightened leadership many years ago. So I'm going to share it with you now." Control queen, and everything has got to be my way. I'm a control queen, and everything has got to be my. My way. All the people in the world have a place, and that's the place where they should stay. I've always said that straight is the path and narrow is the way. If all the people in the world would just do as I say, they'd be okay. Okay, yeah, all my friends, they run around and they don't know what they should do with their lives. So I tell them what to do and then they push me aside. Can you imagine? If all the people in my life would just do as I say, they'd be okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, na 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 na. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 'Cause I'm a control queen. And everything has got to be my way. Of course, that that is not the text for Enlightened Leadership. It's just, just a fun song.
Love that song.
But Lord have mercy. Wait till you see what the Holy Book says. It's perfect. It's like, okay, chapter 29. Not of the world. There are those who want to take over the world and control it. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I know I feel that way. There are those who want to take over the world and control it. I understand they will not succeed. Can you imagine? Trying to control everybody and everything. Gosh, seems like that would work, doesn't it? My mom used to think it would work.
My mom too.
Yeah, my mom too. Risa met my mom, but she was very polite that day.
She was.
She was. The world is a sacred vessel and it cannot be controlled. That's profound. That's incredible, actually. Like, think about it. Like, what does any of my protestations of things to come in 2025, what is that? Is that going to stop anything? No. The world is doing what it's doing. And did all of my protestations, about, oh, please God, don't let Glenn die or whatever. No, like, that's not the prayer. The prayer is, let me see what is, let things be exactly as they are, and proceed from there. Because the world cannot be controlled. Boy, the sooner I made peace with that, the suffering stopped. I mean, like I say, I still, obviously I miss Glenn and love him and mourn him and all of those things, but I'm not suffering. Like, I'm not incapacitated, from suffering. And when we believe that we can control the world, we're going to suffer. We are going to suffer. But the world is a sacred vessel and it cannot be controlled. Those who try to control it will be defeated. Those who try to hold it will lose it. Interesting. So that song reminds me of that song, Hold On Loosely. How's it go? Hold on loosely. And I don't know what the rest of it is, but I remember that little piece of it. And that's wisdom. So we're not saying don't live your life, We're not saying, don't have a great life, have a fun life, have a great life, have everything you want, do what you want. But even sometimes the best laid plans are waylaid by just what happens, the world. Glenn used to say to me, I'm going to live to be 100. And I would be like, really? Do we have to live to be 100? And he goes, well, I'm going to live to be 100. Don't you want to stay, don't you want to be here with me? And I'm like, yeah, I really do. And then I sort of got into that sort of, okay, we're going to live to be 100. And then he passed at 59, and it was such a puzzlement for me. It was such like a, wow, like a slap in the face, almost like felt betrayed, you know what I mean? Like all of these things I had to sort of look at and acknowledge as being there, not try to shove them away or spiritualize them away or anything like that. I had to really have a hard look at what was, what is. And to try to hold on to the past, I have found, it's like, it just dissipates, As much as I love him, much as the 20 years we spent together and y'all knew him and his tattoos and his talk about his tattoos and all that. What a unique individual, but, I can't hold on to that. I have to move forward. Isn't that strange and beautiful in some kind of way? Because I have an opportunity for a new life. All of us do. After heartbreak, is a really great time to assess whatever the heartbreak may be for you in your life, but it's a really great time to assess. So it goes on to tell us about what the world is like. In the world, perhaps Perhaps there are leaders and followers. Perhaps some snort with displeasure. Perhaps some boast with pride. Perhaps some struggle and some gain. Perhaps some are oppressed and some conquer. I love that passage because for me, it is a descriptive way to look at of how the world is, but it's also giving you the perhaps. Perhaps it doesn't have to be that way. Perhaps you could face your struggles with a new perspective. Perhaps you could conquer instead of being the oppressed. Perhaps you could snort with displeasure. I love that line. Snort with displeasure. Okay, that's sort of like, for me, like, oh God, her, oh Jesus. You know, snorting with displeasure. Well, perhaps I could be like, oh, and then catch myself and like, you know what? Bless her anyway. Just bless her. I'm not going to change her by snorting with displeasure. Please. And boast with pride. Oh my God. You know, not that it's bad to feel like I'm on top of the world and, you know, not that that's bad or anything, but like when I was so attached to being like, I'm Reverend Yolanda, and here I am, you know, to whatever, you know, I was really attached to that. You know, you heard my resume. I won 2 Mag Awards. I'm in the Blues Hall of Fame. That was very, very important to me. And it is, it's wonderful, it's a great thing, you know. But I was attached to that. Like, that was my identity, you know. And it scared me because how do I top that, you know? So releasing the extremes, you know, and moving into the middle way, which is the next paragraph, which I just love how this is phrased too. To be not of the world, sages, now she uses the word sages to mean wise people, and these are the leaders, you know, that this book is addressing. Sages, which is you and I, we're all teachers of God, we're all wise people. Sages remove their own extremes. Sages remove their own extravagance. Sages remove their own arrogance. Wow. Those 3 things, they got me right here. I was like, ooh. Their own extremes. Now I'm extreme. Look at me. I call myself she, you know, I have, you know, and I wear fancy clothes and I'm, you know, loud. So there's an extremity to all that. I'm not talking about necessarily your personality. Again, it's about attachment, right? So if I'm attached, which I was, to this personality, you should have seen me like before I even met all you guys, I used to do the craziest, nuttiest things just for like, rah, you know, I'm extreme and you have to deal with it. So, you know, I would go to my website, look at the photo gallery, you'll be like, what? Is this the Reverend Yolanda that I used? Go back to the 90s, you'll be like, what? So anyway, I'm not going to describe because it's a little weird. But there's a middle way again. To remove is not to excise and surgically remove and like throw it away, it's gone. It's more like, oh, I see that in myself. That's not really benefiting me. This is what we talk about anyway in unity, right? That's not really benefiting me. That train of thinking that goes way out here and expects something from somebody because I'm extreme, you know? So you have to respond to me in some way if I'm extreme, you know? But if I'm in the middle way, I can just chill out with you guys, you know? And we can just be pals and nobody has to prove anything. So, you know, I like that. So don't believe the hype. And that's what that's what I say when I say remove. Just don't believe it. Notice your thoughts and notice it's a thought. And isn't that apparatus really cool, the way we're built as spiritual beings in this learning device? That we can actually notice, there's an awareness that notices these thoughts. And the awareness is really the higher dimension because it's not judgmental and everything, but it's all within our scope. It's an amazingly powerful, wondrous learning device that we experience, that God experiences through us in each unique individual expression. And so so this wisdom here about removing something, I really lean more toward understanding it as noticing what it is. Because you know what, these challenges that we face in our minds and our thoughts and everything, it's not like a one and done, I don't think. It's like, okay, I find relief from this torturous thought right now, and 2 months later, or tomorrow at noon, like it comes right back to kick you in the ass, right? So then what do? Do we remember? Is it a practice for us, to notice the thoughts? Oh, that's a thought. Huh, interesting. I'm in traffic. Oh, that's a thought. But you know what I mean? Like, that's comes back to kick you in the butt. And then it's like, oh, what do I do with that? Well, if I just let it run on, it goes around and around and around and around and around. It can ruin your whole day. So that's what I'm talking about, noticing. And then the removal aspect is, that's what it is. I can just let that go and, trust. It makes room for trust, So then the next thing, remove their extravagance. Shall I remove my robe? No, I mean, it's not really that. Of course I love to dress up and be pretty and whatever. But it's more like digging in, you know what I mean? For me, it's like the extravagance of thought. The extravagance, if I get this thought, and then I'm going to double down into this thought. Well, you know what he said to me? Oh my God, I can't believe he said that to me. This happened to me recently. I can't believe he did that. Like, oh my God, and you know what? He's done that for years. I've known him for 10 years. This is the extravagance. I'm digging down into this. Like, he's really behaves badly. He's behaved badly the whole time I've known him. And then the last thing, sages remove their own arrogance. Doesn't he know who I am? How could you treat me this way? How could you act this way? Don't you know who I am? Oh, lordy, 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 look at her arrogance, well, ignorance and arrogance. But, this is what I'm diving into right now. So, let's see. So my thought is, be willing to remove, and it's kind of become a mantra for me, notice my own extremes. Am I willing to notice my own extremes? Am I willing to remove and notice and remove? I kind of think it's like that. Notice and remove my own extravagances, that doubling down. And am I willing to remove my own arrogance? When I do that, it makes room for enlightened leadership. I trust my brothers that are one with me, because they're one with me eternally. I trust my sisters that are one with me in every situation. When I am driving down the interstate, I don't wanna hate that guy that tailgates. So I pull over and I let him pass. I'm not in a rush anyway. I'll never know why he's so speedy. Maybe it's an emergency, but I know my thoughts of anger make me lose my peace, and so I'd rather say I trust my brothers that are one with me, because they're one with me eternally. I trust my sisters that are one with me in every situation. And now I'm standing at the hardware store. I am waiting for some keys to my front door. And I am overcome with grief from the passing of my beloved. I started crying when it's time to pay. The clerk said, "Are you okay?" It took my breath away. My life is not cooperating with me today. She said, "I feel the same way, and that's okay." And that just made my day. You never know what someone's going through. It could be you who's feeling really blue. And though I know I'm on this journey with you, it helps a lot to say I trust my brothers that are one with me, because they're one with me eternally. I trust my sisters that are one with me in every situation.
Yay. So beautiful.
Yes, let's do There Is One Power, One Presence. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. There is one power, one presence, as the universe and as my life. There is one power, one presence, as the universe and as my life. God the good, omnipotent. One more time, here we go. There is one power, one presence, as the universe and as my life. There is one power, one presence, as the universe and as my life. God the good, omnipotent.
And so it is. As we leave here today, do you want to do the last benediction?
Oh, no, go ahead.
We will. As we leave here today, we remember that we are not in control, and we get to shine our light and just be beautiful. And so it is. Amen.